Not a problem. Not a problem. Again, we're learning the source of for Shlema for what's his name? Government CEO Chaim, I think Beneto, am I right? We had posted it the other day somewhere. No.
Here, Matziau Chaim Ben Etel.
Beneto and Jesse, how's your father-in-law?
Baruch Hashem, out of the hospital, being monitored.
Okay, good. Should be a schus for him for Shlema also.
Made.
All right. So here we are. We are up to Perik. We learned chovos halevavos, right? Perik Shlishi. We're in the middle of number 20. I don't remember anyone. 22 is it? 21. And the safe of the chovos halevavos. We were in the middle of Ramatzio's parish. If you have it on page Tzadi Beis. We're talking about the fact that if a person does his most, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu also will expand him, and expand his abilities. And Ramatzio said we find this concept in the Mesilas Yesharim. Let's just take it again from where he starts on Tzadi Beis. Matzini Yisayte Gambe Mesilas Yesharim Bebir Midas Hazahirus. This Eloshoine Perik Beis and Mesilas Yesharim. Achim Ha'odam Mefakech Al Atzmai. If a person Mefakech Al Atzmai means he looks himself over. He's taking care. He's watching himself. As HaKadosh Baruch Hu Oizroi. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu also helps him. If you do yours, Hashem helps you. If you need some in a Yetzirah, and then you're saved from the Yetzirah. But if you don't, you live for a free life. Certain Hashem's not going to help him. You're not doing anything. If you don't care, who's going to care about you? Again, the famous Gemara, someone who doesn't have Deya, also Rachmal, if you're not allowed to have Rachmanis on him. See what I'm saying? This is the same type of idea. If I'm not going to do mine, then who will be there for me? Because of it, this is where we were up to. He says, in Chelke has Jesus. He says, examine it further. Shekamoish Jesus who told us this, his slatu sapnimi, just like Jesus. Person does something with Jesus. What is that an outgrowth of? It's the fact that I'm excited inside. I can't wait. So therefore, when I get to do it, I do with Jesus. He says, but similarly, he says, Mesilas Yesharim, Ken min has Jesus, Yivole has slatus. It goes the other way also. Let's say inside, I don't have an excitement to do something. But if, as they say out there, fake it until you make it, I act as if I'm excited. I do it with an excitement, and that's gonna bring into me an inner tislat, an inner excitement behind him. Kimisha magish asmei b'maisa mitzvah. K'moi shumemar tnuos techitzayna. If someone, when he does the actions of a mitzvah, he does it with a physical quickness. He does it like he's running to do it. That causes it lights up his inside. It causes him to have an inside also an excitement. It's the outside actions affect the inside. And then your desire. So if a person feels, I don't feel like doing it, doesn't talk to me, he says to Mesilas Yesharim that the answer is do it without feeling. Do it with his reasons, as if you do have a feeling, and that action, outside action, will bring an inner desire and chayfetz. Says Mesilas Yesharim, but if a person acts with a heaviness. He does it slowly. He does it like he's being forced to do it. It also affects his inside. So the inside also, if you had any inner excitement, any inner desire, it dies down. Excuse me. Says the Messiah Shalom. This is something that you could test. Try it. He says you already know. What does Hashem want? What is the real thing that Hashem wants? He wants the desire of the neshama, of the heart. And we find David HaMelech praising himself with his good portion. That what is the Vaimer and Tilim? Ka'ayol Tariga Fikemayim. He's like a ayol, a goat, mountain goat that yearns to the water. Kenafshi Tariga Lecha. My nefesh yearns for you, Hashem. So my nefesh is thirsty for you. This is what David HaMelech is praising when he wants to praise where he's at. That's his expressions. Expressions are, the inner feeling, the desire, the gam. And we find also there it says in a different parak, nichsafa v'gam kosa nafshi l'chatzos Hashem. My longings, my yearnings, is to go to the chatzos Hashem, to the Beis Hamikdash, the Beis Hamedrash. All expressions of longing and desiring and thirsting. But if a person doesn't have that, I don't have it. Which is what I'm saying. Advice to such a person is act it out, and it's going to come and affect your natural desires. This is the line. The external actions, Moireres Hapnimis awakens the inner. It's a little bit like the halevavos was saying, right? What's in our hands to do is the physicals, the external actions. We can't necessarily excite ourselves, but what is in our hands much easier is the visas. I act with an excitement, right? And it's not of being a phony because I want it to affect. I want it, right? So that this is a tool, way to do it, and to get that you're inside. You should have that excitement. Is that the tenuach hitzainus ma'iris hapnimis? Achim yishtamish mimash biyodei. If I do use what I have, yikne gama she'ena biyodei behemshech. So with time, I will also acquire what it's not. I don't have the ability to do. Itivoled by hasimcha hapnimis, because with time, that's going to give forth the inner joy, v'achefetz v'chemda, and the desire mikoich mashu mislayim betnois berotzen. From this, that he's excited with his actions, that's going to bring an inner excitement also. Now here he brings a footnote on this. Says Rav. This is such an easy advice. The man writes in the Kabbalah. He says, so it's a wonder that people don't accept it. They want to be good Jews, and you tell them to do this. And to do this easy advice, do the physical acts. Right? You guys know, fake it until you make it. So why not? He says, because laziness is such an ingrained trait of ours that to get us even moving, we could do. But even that's such a burden, so hard to do that we don't do it. Rather have philosophical ideas and thoughts. And I'm still saying, leave that behind. Just do. He says a person is a machine. You just need the right key to get it moving. And that's to awaken what's inside. through the outside. L'moshel haritza based on, for example, run to base medrash. You don't feel like going. It doesn't. Torah doesn't talk to you that much. You don't enjoy. Run as if that's what you want to do. Monsieur Shom is teaching us as so that by doing that, believe it or not, it's going to give us a desire to learn. Come upon him, Lamanu Soid. He says we've learned this Soid quite a few times. We didn't cause any noise and can yet we don't do it. He says also when you're learning, you can sit and learning and you say, I don't really feel like learning, but I want to feel like learning. So what do you do? Linoya b'shas limud uloyer apnimis shakal. Get into it physically, and that's what Messiah Sham is telling them. Messiah Sham is the expert of experts on how we think. Shakal, raise your voice a little. Things that's in your control, and that's going to cause. It's going to affect your insides. And he says here further, he says, I can't go directly awaken the desire in me. But as far as my physical avarim, my limbs, that I do have control. By doing that, I come to awaken and rule over my pneumius. It's as if Hashem is saying, yeah, you do the mitzvahs superficially. But said, I'll awaken for you the inside. But again, it's not because I want to be a phony and just English to think I'm learning and excited about it. No, I'm doing it because I know that's the key. That's how you get the gas going. You got to get the gas going. Okay, it's a little bit like this is like and being it's in our hands, this is in our hands. That's where Hashem could come to us and say, so why didn't you do it? If you're going to say, why weren't you excited about learning? I wasn't excited about learning. What should I tell you? I wasn't excited. What do you want me to do? Jump around? Dad says, yes, jump around. Get in there. Say it out loud. Get into it. And in that way you could generate the inner excitement. You don't have to talk, and you don't have to have all kind of philosophy. Do it.
Hang on a second. So
I'm hanging.
We have this idea on Tisha B'Av that you can't learn Torah because Torah brings joy. So if that was such a self-evident thing, you wouldn't have any objections to being excited to learn Torah. It'd be self-evident. So it seems to be a contradiction.
Again, Torah brings joy. Okay.
So if Torah inherently brings joy, you wouldn't have to fake it till you make it because it's something that brings joy. So joy is something that is. It's not an intellectual thing. It's something that you feel. So does Torah bring joy that I wouldn't have any issue with doing it? Or does Torah not bring joy and I have to fake myself to want to do it, to learn Torah?
I hear what you're asking. If Torah in itself brings joy, look, I hear what you're saying. I could just say what comes to my mind, sometimes it happens. You're sitting base mesh, and you have a great svara, and you get a certain enjoyment from what you learned. It was, let's say, good. It was exciting. The thought was, different people, different things excite them. But the learning, it brings joy. But that doesn't necessarily mean that now I'm going to want to learn more. It's not necessarily we're talking about how do I light the fire inside of me? How do I light the fire? The fact that learning brings joy doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to light the fire in me. To light the fire, the Messiah Shosharm is saying, it's not in your hands really. Lighting the fire is only in your hands as far as that I could act as if the fire is on. Do it as if you have a fire and you're burning. I mamish want to learn, and if you really wanted to learn, how would you learn? You would learn with excitement, you would, jump up and down, whatever. Right? You see what I'm saying? So do that, and that will light the fire, because you can't really light the fire yourself. What you're referring to is that there's a certain enjoyment in learning, and it's true. If I enjoy something, I'm going to want to do it more. I hear what you're saying. I appreciate that. I enjoy something. I want to do it more, and that's also a way, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, but on the other hand, this is what he's saying. You can't light the fire inside. You don't have an excitement for Torah and mitzvahs. Lulav and Esrog doesn't talk to me so much. Okay, but take the Lulav and Esrog and do it with an excitement. Make it don't just like, okay, pick it up, shake. Pick it up and shake it. Like I went to, do the Diktuk mitzvahs, like the Chovos halevavos said, be medactic, how to do it. I still remember Rav Brafman. I don't know if you guys were there by Rav Brafman. Anybody? Everyone has a blank look. Yeshiva when I came. All right. He was one of the major rabbanim in the yeshiva when I joined the yeshiva. And I remember before Sukkot, he would actually give a real on hand how do you do the Ninuim according to the Mishnah Berurah. It was like a whole with all the dikdukim, how you see some people they're swinging the lulav like they're playing baseball or something, It's not what it says, at least in the Mishnah Berurah. And he would give a very detailed, and then you work on it and you do it like that. That generates, says the Chovos halevavos, says the Messiah Shon, that generates within you the excitement to that mitzvah of lulav and esrog. Okay, so it's a powerful thought. Okay, let's go a little further. We did get a slow start here. How says the Rav Matisyo, Messiah Shon is writing exactly what the Chovos halevavos wrote here. Shalodim lases mashu biyodei. That a person is held, he has to do what he could do. Hamais. That's what the Chovos halevavos said. You're not in control of what's going on in your heart, but you're in control of your actions. And by doing that, you'll get the cheshik. Okay, so let's just go a few lines in Chovos halevavos. Let me find the place here. And then we'll continue tomorrow, B'etz Hashem. On page Reish Lamed Hey. Oh, on the bottom. A few lines. If you look away and don't do what you can do, the actions. Then Hashem doesn't help. Hashem doesn't strengthen you. In Hashem is distant from the Rishoyim. I just saw. Okay, 1 minute. Your Averis caused a break, a havdalah between you and your God. I just was reading by the book that they wrote, of Chaim Wallerstein, that Noach Weinberg, Zatzal, the reason he went into Kiruv, he said, because there's nothing I could give Hashem. He wanted to give Hashem. He says, there's nothing I could give Hashem. Everything is Hashem's. The only thing I could give him is a Jew that has no connection to him. That Hashem, there's nothing. I could give Hashem to make that Jew have a connection to him. I could give Hashem a connection. That's something Hashem doesn't have. And that's why he went into Kiruv, to give Hashem that connection, that gift, a connection. That's what we're saying here. There's inherently a distance from the Rishayim. There's a Havdalah. Your sins. So therefore, if now that Rav Noach was saying, these people don't know, right? So they're far away, but they don't even know. So if I could teach them, I could bring them back to Hashem. That's a gift that I could give Hashem. But that's what the Chovos halevavos is saying as far as we're concerned. If we don't do what we could do, and that's the actions, with the intention that it should be mashpia on our pnimius, then Hashem also. Okay? You're not doing yours, then I don't gift you. It's not a free gift. I don't gift you. You got to do your thing. Then according, what he's saying here in this whole Heshbon Nefesh, you can even go beyond your abilities that you have now. If you do yours and you do it to your utmost, and David, you want more, Hashem gives you more than you could have done, more brain power, more physical power, everything. Okay, Rabbi, say Mitzvah Hashem, tomorrow we go to number 22. Thank you for joining. Nice to see you all.